Bandabidoo. I cannot help you with this. Hello, Nick Guarite. Okay, where's my... there it is. I gotta play a little bit of the title song over the thumbnail. Otherwise, what's the point of even making the thumbnail? I was messing around last night with like max random settings that even randomize like dungeon entrances and shit, and like randomize where you start, and that shit is nuts. I think it would be really fun to... I would have to like get out a notebook and literally like take notes on it, but it would be really fun to try to complete one on like fully random settings. Alright, I'm gonna get this rolling, I think. I think it's time. So, one thing I forgot to do. I forgot that I randomized the Medigoron reward. So I can buy that. There we go. ETA on a new podcast. Hopefully I can get one done Sunday and get that going before I take my week-long vacation to Pennsylvania. That would be my... That's the ideal goal. Because I'm trying to get... I wanted to get another video out before I leave, but I don't think that's going to happen. I could probably rush one out on some like little indie game or little itch game or something, but I don't know if it'd be worth it. Because I could just put together a pretty good one in like a week and a half when I get back, and I think that'd be better. By the way, I checked the cosmetics file for this, and the other... so the Kokiri tunic got randomized to its default color, but the other two actually have different ones. It was bothering me, so I checked. Wait, fuck. I don't have any fucking... god dang rupees. Okay, well, this is a multi-step process, because I don't even know how much this thing costs. So the Medigoron thing... okay, let's take a quick inventory of what we got here. Epona's song would be really nice. We know that's in the Zora shop. We just don't have the wallet for it yet. So... I went and got all of, like, the stray Skulltulas. Well, let's figure out if we can buy the Medigoron item. Shit. Tech tight. Man, Saturday afternoon is apparently not a good time to stream. Am I in the fucking... yeah, I am, okay. I'm trying to think what other shit I can even get to right now. I don't think... What about the out sanity? That's a good question. What would we define out sanity as? This is the normal Goron shop, right? Yeah, okay. How much is this tunic? 200? Fuck. Hello, Marito del Alaguel. How's the Woods Bozeman arc going? I mean, good. In the original intro that I had made for that video, I was like sitting on a log and had the bow next to me for like a prop and was eating beans out of a can. But I had to get rid of it because the audio sucked. I need to get a mic for doing outside shit. By the way, I thought eating cold beans out of a can was going to be like just completely revolting. It was totally fine. It was just like it was pretty much the same thing as eating warm beans. Wait a minute. Where is he on the second floor? No, this is the shortcut one. I think he's down here, right? I believe... Oh, I did it backwards. God, I'm stupid. You'd think at the amount of times that I've played this game, I would not have trouble navigating the fucking Goron City. I don't know where... Are you the one who's been asking about the Long Dark video? I don't know where this, like, rumor got started that I was working on a Long Dark video, but I don't remember ever saying that. I think I said it was a game that I would look at. The video that I scrapped was Undungeon. Here it is, Jesus Christ.
Ayo.
Hello.
Where the white women at?
Around. Fuck, this guy's thing is also 200 rupees. Okay, well...
Fuck, now I'm about to play Skyrim. I should have said something a lot more clever. Like, where the Nord women at? God damn it. Tim. Tim! You can't even do fakey, unserious, like, ironic racism that well. Fuck.
Okay, we got the hook shot. We still can't get into the Forest Temple. Oh, I hate to say this out loud, but we can get into the Water Temple. That sucks.
I may be remembering something wrong because somebody asked about the Long Dark video, but did you ever even start a Long Dark video? I don't think you did.
I literally just went on the whole rant about how I have no idea, because I've had multiple people that have asked me, and I don't know where the rumor got started that I was working on a Long Dark video, but that has never happened as far as I know.
Yeah, because that's what I thought. I was like, you've literally never had a Long Dark video, like,
Okay.
in the works.
So I know we've got... All of the bean holes have been checked. All of the grottos have been checked, except for the grotto in the desert that I can't get to yet. Do I have any keys for the bottom of the well still? No. I'm not supposed to go into the Forest Temple or the... How many... 43. So I'd have to find 7 more of those. I bet you there's some Skulltulas that I don't have. I think I have all the ones that you can get during the day, though, and I don't have Sunsong yet.
Jacob finally got involved in a Mandela effect.
Is there anything... Yeah, this is a Mandela effect.
On Funny Lad said, yeah, that's me. I believe in your streams for Pray to the Gods. You told me you had a vid in the works to the point that you wouldn't stream it.
I literally do not remember ever. I don't even own that game. This is definitely a Mandela effect, dude.
Hi, Marito. I talked to Amanda and Jacob about this, but you guys know what's weird? You guys know what's really weird? Plates. You know what else is really weird? Cups.
Okay, plates. I mean, I guess you could just put most stuff in a bowl.
Like, how different would the world be, do you guys think, if there were no plates and there were no cups and people just did things out of bowls like all the time, like the Japanese did a while back?
Jake, are you gonna pay for my college tuition? No. I can't even pay for my own college tuition. Do I have... We really gotta get a wallet upgrade, dude. Not having a wallet upgrade is seriously fucking us. Because I'm not supposed to do... Okay, I'm gonna check my randomizer settings real fast. No, I'm not going to check them because I know exactly that for sure that I didn't include tunic skips.
Guys, I'm gonna go to Riften and start the Dawn Guard DLC.
Okay, how many of these songs do I have? I have Zelda's Lullaby. Can I do anything
I already
else
went
with
to
that?
Riften for the only real important reason you would go to Riften, and that's to get Inigo out of prison. Any self-respecting modded Skyrim run, like one of the first things you do is you go to Riften and you get Inigo out of prison.
Where? I think I need 5 songs to get the frog reward. So this ain't gonna fly. I'm starting to think that maybe there's more Skulltulas that I'm missing. Ooh, now that I've got the hook shot... Okay, that's one that I can do. I think now that I've got the hook shot, I can get on top of the house at Lake Helia, and that has something. Hylia, whichever one. What's the Prelude of Light? Get me out of here.
The blue cuckoo looks terrifyingly similar to a Brazilian kid's mascot. You know what, dude? I'd imagine anything that reminded me of Brazil would also be really scary.
Yeah. When I think about being in Brazil, my body gets powerful enough to lift cars. Like when moms see their kid stuck. That's how powerful my fight or flight is. Did I get... Yeah, I did get that one. Maybe I didn't. Let's check. I don't think this one requires a hook shot. But we're gonna check. Yeah, I got that one. Okay. See, that's the downside of these randomizer runs, is that when you have the settings turned up this random, it gets really fucking hard to remember that you get all, like, the little stuff. Most people, you're supposed to keep a spreadsheet, but I'm raw dogging it.
You're just showing off your power, dude.
Yeah. I've only had to check the spoiler file for one thing so far. We'll see if I can... Is there a Skulltula in here, or is this guy just a shop with a couple of pots?
We are entering Dayspring Canyon, boys. We're doing it.
This NPC was always like one of the wildest Zelda NPCs. I wish he would make a comeback in one of the new games. I would lose my fucking mind if I was playing like Breath of the Wild 2 and I found a little shack with this guy in it and he was buying Pose again. God, that would be awesome.
You know something that's really wild to me, actually?
Hello,
like
Nectator.
legitimately is fucking crazy about Legend of Zelda. The fact that the only tabletop RPGs we've ever gotten that take place in Hyrule are like fan-made.
I mean, that's not surprising. Nintendo's never like... I've never heard of Nintendo like even flirting with the idea of like tabletop shit.
Right. Which is really
like
weird.
Tabletop stuff was so niche until very recently. Like it just picked up steam in the last like few years.
I do kind of forget that because I've been involved with it since I was like a kid. I got in on that really early, so I have to like I do occasionally have to remind myself that not everyone was playing D&D when they were like 6 the way I was.
I would say that like when you were in college was probably about the time that like nerd culture really started resurrecting the idea of doing tabletop. I think part of it, I think the biggest reason for it was couch co-op video games basically don't exist anymore. So
like you think tabletops are basically like
yeah,
them?
tabletop stuff to like tabletop stepped in to like fill the gap of there not being any multiplayer shit that you could like sit down with your friends and play. No, Critical Role is a symptom of it getting more popular.
Yeah, Critical Role got big because nerd culture got big. Nerd culture didn't get big because of Critical Role.
I would say though, even the fact that Critical Role, even with the huge explosion in tabletop stuff, the fact that Critical Role is like literally the biggest channel on Twitch is still nuts.
Honestly, I have a hot take. I think we're kind of worse off for it. Like the tabletop community in general, I think we're kind of worse off for it. I don't think gatekeeping is a good thing, but I think that a little bit of gatekeeping.
Well, anytime you get something,
like
anybody who like denies this is just denying objective facts. Anytime a hobby or like a thing gets big enough to attract the general audience, you're going to like pay a price.
Yeah.
Like there is a cost for having your hobby be mainstream. Like, whether or not you, like, accept the trade-off of, like, getting more content because it's mainstream or whatever is, like, up to personal opinion, but there 100% is a price that you pay for having your hobby be mainstream.
I think that Critical Role getting as big as it got wouldn't have been a big deal if other tabletop games also got big to match it.
Yeah, but
like
D&D is just like a monopoly.
Yeah, but D&D has this massive monopoly in Western markets that, like, and, like, everyone wants to GM like Matt Mercer, and, like, we're genuinely, like, everyone expects their games to be like Critical Role. We're genuinely worse off for it. Like, a little bit of gatekeeping would have been pretty healthy for the tabletop community.
In order to have, like, really fucking wild, interesting games, you have to have, like, a fucking...
Well,
you need a really good DM, which is hard to find, and then you need a bunch of people that are very like-minded and are playing the game for the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And that is very difficult to do. Do I really need the long shot for this?
5e came out like right at the same time too, right? No, 5e came out. Critical Role switched to 5e when 5e became big because Wizards of the Coast basically paid them to Wizards of the Coast basically paid them to do it as like an advertisement thing, which makes sense. You know, because my personal favorite Dungeons and Dragons series, Acquisitions Incorporated, also made the switch over to 5th edition when 5th edition came out because the guy who GMs it, Chris Perkins, is literally like one of the guys who writes 5e books. Like he is a wizard of the Wizards of the Coast.
Okay, I need a shooter in chat. I need somebody to start looking up Skulltulas. I need to make sure that I've like gotten all the ones that you can get during the day.
Not that hot a take. Most tabletop people I know really love to bitch about Critical Role, and I get it. Well, okay, the thing is, I don't think it's a hot take that I don't like Critical Role. I think the hot take is that... So a lot of people, when you see them online, like, bitching about Critical Role, they bitch about Critical Role because RPGs becoming mainstream means that they became more, like, pandered to, is the word they like to use when it comes to, like, queer representation and stuff like that.
I mean, they did, but the extent to which that bothers you is the question.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't bother me. That's not the part of it that bothers me. What bothers me is that everyone now expects their game to be like Critical Role. That's the part that I think is bad.
Yeah, that's probably bad.
I don't think that RPGs in the RPG community becoming more diverse is a bad thing, because diverse communities have always been playing tabletop RPGs. I say this because I've been playing tabletop RPGs for like over 20 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I am an old school dude. I've been in the community for a very long time, and the community's always been that diverse.
Dude, it's like the whole fucking like all nerds are like Gamergate guys meme that still for some fucking reason is like pervasive on the internet. Like I've never needed something to die more than that.
Yeah.
Like I'm so fucking tired of hearing about it.
Also, Unfunny Latin Count Carrion, the alternate dimension where GURPS was the one that got the Critical Role like success, I'll say it out loud, is a worse timeline than the D&D one.
What the fuck is GURPS?
GURPS stands for Generic Universal Role-Playing System, and it's supposed to be... It's basically like a really, really... I'll admit, GURPS is a really tight system. It runs very well.
What is that one? There's another one that's meant to be universal too that has like its own dice set.
Genesis.
Where... Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, no, I have it. It's built off of the Star Wars RPG, because the Star Wars RPG came out and had its own unique dice. And
actually,
it was really, really successful.
No, hang on. I know what one you're talking about, and this isn't the one that I'm talking about. The one that I'm talking about has a bunch of like weird D6s. Fuck, I'd have to ask Michael. He has it.
Oh, no, I know what you're talking about.
Why did I come here?
It's Fate.
Yes, Fates. That's the one. That sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's Fate. You're thinking about Fate. I think it's a fair criticism. Critical Role has inadvertently commodified and commercialized the hard and unique word that... Yeah, they have. Like, and Matt Mercer's aware of it. I don't blame Matt Mercer for doing this. I blame everyone who consumes... Like, I don't think Critical Role is bad. I think everyone who consumes Critical Role and thinks that that's what all tabletop RPGs are, I think that's bad. I think the fact that Critical Role is the only one that was successful and people didn't bother paying attention to other tabletop streams, I think that's... The trend is bad. Critical Role is not bad in and of itself.
We've done all the mini games.
Like, I love Acquisitions Incorporated. Like, if you guys want a really, really good D&D stream to check out, like, stream series, and, like, they do live shows on, like, stage and whatnot, Acquisitions Incorporated, and especially Acquisitions Incorporated, the C team, are genuinely incredible and worth checking out. Really, really incredible. Especially the C team. But, like, what's the issue with Critical Role? Oh, Critical Role in itself is not the issue. The issue I had was that people... Like, Critical Role is the only one that found major success. So there's a ton of people who get into tabletop and then just expect all their games to be Critical Role. And I think that's a bad thing.
Okay, so inside the deck tree. Yeah, we got that one.
Part of that is being able to run a setting on with guns without needing to write a white paper on why they do similar damage to bows. Are you talking about GURPS? I mean, GURPS is cool. I like GURPS just fine. It's just that it would have been worse if that was the one that had major success. Because if GURPS was the one that had major stream success, then anytime anyone played any game at all, they'd be like, oh, can we play GURPS? GURPS can handle anything. And it would just be really fucking annoying, because I don't want to play GURPS every time. You know? Sometimes you want to play an RPG that specializes towards telling the kind of story that it's telling. GURPS is just kind of lame, in my opinion.
Wait, that one? Oh, it's only at nighttime. That is fucking devious that there's Skulltulas that, like, come out of trees only at night. That's fucked.
That is wild. No, I mean, compared to trying to adapt D&D 5e to have...
One.
Okay, that's all. Well, Carrie, and people trying to adapt 5e to do something other than D&D is the problem there. Like, if you want to play another kind of game that Dungeons & Dragons mechanically doesn't handle, then play another game. Don't try to make Dungeons & Dragons do something it's not designed to do.
Oh,
that's just a problem with everyone thinking that they can solve the mechanical problems of Dungeons & Dragons by making their own Heartbreaker. Like, that's been a problem as old as time itself. That is not new.
Like, the idea... you see this in video games too. Like, people have this idea that they're like, dude, I'm so smart, I will be able to easily fix this tabletop game or video game. It's like, nope, it's actually really hard, and there's probably like fucking 30 people working on it at all times trying to figure it out.
Okay, Misavande says, I've played very few tabletop RPGs. What do you think is wrong with it? Just the fact they have a stat
Bombs
cast that your buds
Where
can
is
won't. No, no, no,
this?
Miso. It's not, and it's not that they play fast and roost with 5e. I really don't think you're listening to the words that are coming out of my mouth. The problem has nothing to do with Critical Role. The problem is that Critical Role was the only stream that found major success. So now people like you, who don't know anything about tabletop RPGs and try to get into it with their friends, expect everything to be like Critical Role because it's the only stream that anyone's heard of. Listen to the words I'm saying, please.
Okay, let's try Death Mountain Creator, I guess. I don't have a tunic, though, and I probably already got that one.
Like, there are games outside of Dungeons & Dragons, but a lot of people don't know that because the only successful stream is a Dungeons & Dragons stream. There's different ways to play different games. But
There's also a
everybody
weird
knows about
bias where, like,
because
for
Critical
whatever...
Role is the big one.
There's also a weird bias, for whatever reason, among people that, like, don't even watch streams and shit, of, like, oh, if I'm doing tabletop, it like, by definition, is, like, high fantasy.
Yeah, that's also
I don't know
a weird
what that
thing.
is. I don't know
Yeah,
what that
also
came
for the record, playing fast and loose with the rules is the way to play. Rules layers are annoying. Like,
Yeah.
for reference, guys, when I play D&D, I don't even play like modern ones. I prefer the really insanely old school stuff like AD&D and OD&D and BX and like Five Torches Deep and Beyond the Wall, like really, really old school D&D that are pretty light on the rules, because the entire point is that for unique scenarios, instead of a GM like pulling out a rule book and going, oh man, what do I do here? They just make a fucking decision right then and there. Because maintaining the flow and pacing of the game is the most important thing. Carrion, I'd say even less than 60 seconds. If it takes you more than 10 seconds to find something, just make it up.
Hello, Gumgurgoo.
Hey,
by the way.
Gumgurgoo. Yeah, if you are a GM and it takes you less than 10 seconds to remember what a rule is, fuck the rule. Make up a role for your player to do. Just completely make it up.
Yeah. It's got to be very vibes-based. God, I wish I had more of the fucking teleport songs. Or, alternatively, I wish I knew, or I wish I was better at whacking speedrun shit.
Is it not okay for people to just get into 5e because it's the default? Yes, that is bad. It's bad for people to just get into 5e because it's the default, because that puts a chokehold on the entire industry. Wizards of the Coast already has a massive chokehold in the tabletop industry. It is almost impossible for indie game developers to break into it. So yes,
I would like...
Mr. Fanties, it is actually unironically bad that the most popular stream has convinced everyone that Dungeons & Dragons is the default way to play tabletop.
I would like to see... I mean, there's so many of them, but I really like sort of the hybridization of, like, the board game and the tabletop game that we've been seeing over the past X amount of time.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Shit like fucking... Haunting a House on the Hill and shit like that.
Yeah. That kind of stuff is pretty cool. Kingdom Death is another really good example of that.
Merchants and Marauders is fucking dope. Like, we need to get that at some point.
Oh, Dragoon.
Yeah.
Is a pretty light example, but...
Dude, you would fucking love Merchants and Marauders.
I've heard the name, but I haven't played it.
It's like a golden age. It's a golden age of piracy board game where each person is like a pirate, and you pick like a captain, and the captains have like slightly different stats, and you can win through like everybody's got to get a certain amount of like fucking doubloons to win or whatever, but there's like different ways you can go about getting them. You can like lean heavily into piracy and like try to loot them, or you can lean heavily into like being a merchant ship and try to trade for them. Is Gloomhaven any good? I don't know. I haven't played it yet. I refuse to play any of New Blood's games until they stop being cowards and take them out of early access.
Okay, hold on. Carrion says Call of Cthulhu is a game I most want to play. Call of Cthulhu is very fun. I very heavily suggest it. It's very, very fun to play. Also, someone said Exalted. I love Exalted's setting, but I do not love the Exalted RPG. If I were to ever run a game of Exalted, I would use something else to do it, like Broken Worlds, which is the tabletop RPG for Kill 6 Billion Demons, which runs way smoother than Exalted could ever hope to run.
Do you guys remember that, like, 4-year period where fucking Munchkin was, like, the biggest game of all time?
I do remember that. That was when I was in college.
Yeah, that would have been about that time, yeah.
There was a guy that I played with in my D&D group who like wanted to play Munchkin all the time, and I hated it.
Munchkin is, dude, the move to make Munchkin really fun is getting some of the expansions that like add mechanics, like the Fairy Dust one and the Necronomicon one are fucking like game changing. Like once you've played Munchkin with those two add-ons specifically, you like literally cannot go back.
Okay, Misto, you missed the part earlier. Where I talked about how like a little bit of gatekeeping is okay. Gatekeeping for like really weird reasons, like, oh, I don't want queer people in my games, that's bad. But gatekeeping because you don't want blue checkmark weirdos in your game is good. You know what I mean? Okay, hold on. Unfunny and Carrion, you're accidentally spreading misinformation.
Wait, hang on. What's going on?
No, someone asked, Kill 6 Billion Demons has a tabletop RPG, and Carrion said it's called Icon. It's not. Icon is a new RPG being made by the same guy who does Kill 6 Billion Demons. But Kill 6 Billion Demons has an RPG called Broken Worlds that was also made by that guy. Icon is basically him trying to like do it again, but different this time. But the actual dedicated Kill 6 Billion Demons RPG is called Broken Worlds, and it is awesome. I very highly suggest it for anybody who's interested. It also lets you play Exalted without having to deal with Exalted's bullshit rules. It's really great.
It says boomerang or hookshot.
I have Genesis and I have Mutants and Masterminds. Genesis is actually very fun, but something about it rubs me the wrong way. It's not the dice. The dice actually work pretty well. I don't like the perk system that they use. Otherwise, it's fine, I guess. It does its job. It's not bad, but it's not really good either. Mutants and Masterminds is also...
Shit, okay. Well, I'm here.
Is kind of in the same boat where it's not... I'm never going to call Mutants and Masterminds good, but I wouldn't go so far as to call it bad either. It does its job, and it works, and it's cool.
Wait, who has toe shoes? Hang on. We're talking about a toe shoe guy, and I missed it.
Any opinion on Savage Worlds? My opinion on Savage Worlds is that there is a ton of third-party content and fan-made content that basically allow you to do anything you want. Savage Worlds only really works, though, if you have, like, a grid or, like, a table with, like, minis and shit. Like, if you want to... Like, you can run... A lot of the games that I enjoy, like Broken Worlds, you can run Theater of the Mind. You can't run Savage Worlds Theater of the Mind. If you're gonna run Savage Worlds, you need to have your whole fucking table set up, and for some people, for some groups, that's just not practical.
Yeah. Man, I would like to fucking play, like, a really wacky combat-heavy tabletop game with minis someday.
Savage Worlds is good for that. Weirdly enough, 4th edition D&D is really good for that, specifically 4th edition. Because 4th edition, they went out of their way to, like, completely change up the way D&D's rules works, and they made it into, like... A lot of people complained that it felt like an MMO video game. And it required, like, battle maps and shit. And, like... Yeah, that's probably annoying if that wasn't what you were expecting, but it's good that it exists because, like... It actually ended up working out pretty well. So to segue into my next question.
Wait, hang on. What did I say that I would like to do? Oh, there we go. Any plans for a TTRG stream podcast? That's very difficult to pull off. Like, there's a lot of moving parts that need to fucking fall into place for that. First of all, we would absolutely 135,000% need the permanent podcast setup in order to do that first.
Yeah.
Number one. Number
which
two.
Still requires us to clean out the garage, which we have not yet done.
Yeah, we're making progress on it though. Two, that also requires like. So Tim's got to DM it because he's like the most experienced and the best DM that we know right now. And Tim usually likes to run.
Owen's in the army.
Yeah, and Tim likes to run like 3 or 4 person games max. So I guess if Tim's on one mic, we would need like a 3-person party, and that would require finding like another person that could be like reliable enough on average to show up to get them out on time. Plus like I don't want to just like do one that's just like, oh, here's us like fucking playing a game off the top of our head. It have to be like plans to be like kind of good.
Yeah.
It's just, that's so much fucking work. It's like kind of beyond the scope of anything I can do right now.
It would be a lot of work. I would honestly suggest that we do like a really rules light system to make it work, because like nothing would kill it faster than if people like wanted to get bogged down in rules or whatever. It would have to be something really rules light, like an OSR game or like Broken Worlds or something of that sort. Or it would have to be a game that everyone is very familiar with.
The fucking... Yeah, that's the other thing, too, is that, like, first of all, I'm, like, kind of a shitty tabletop player anyway. So, like, I don't even know if we could make the content good.
Yeah, there is always the potential problem that we're enjoyable with each other, but it's just not good content.
Yeah.
I think Owen is a better GM than I am, generally speaking, but Owen is obviously in not America right now.
Yeah, he's predisposed.
Yeah. Owen's more practiced than I am, because Owen's been doing it really consistently for like literally years now. And
yeah, a one-shot, doing like a one-shot would be a good idea.
One-shots are probably the best way to manage it, because one-shots, with your average group, one-shots only take like a couple of sessions to get done.
Yeah, and if it's
there's
like...
hardly ever an actual one-shot that is actually done in one session. That's really rare. It usually takes like 2-ish, maybe 3.
Like, we could get... We could get Michael to DM some one-shots, too. Pretty easily, I think.
One of the other things about it, too, is that the group would have to have expectations that would actually lend themselves well towards content creation. Like, okay, one of the things that makes C-Team so fucking good, in my opinion, is that there's hardly ever any combat. It's mostly actually just character stuff and, like, plot stuff. And if your group is a more combat-oriented group, then the content's just not going to be very good, because it turns out combat-oriented tabletop content is just kind of boring to listen to. Did Jacob just die? I don't know, actually.
No.
I don't know.
I dropped the controller. I'm trying to fucking remember how to get to this stupid-ass Scoldula.
Yeah, like, combat is just kind of boring.
Yeah.
Especially if you're, like, listening to it.
You've got to make, like... You need, like, a really colorful group of people to make combat, like, funny and fun to listen to. Like, it's really boring if everybody is just sort of, like, semi-metagaming and is like, I hit the goblin.
Yeah.
But if you get, like, people trying to do stupid shit, like, I use Mage Hand to, like, pull down the goblin's pants so he trips. Like, you've got to get... You need, like, a lot of really creative, funny people to make, like, the combat sections funny if they get grindy.
Well, also, it needs to be people who are creative and funny, and it also needs to be in a system where the combat doesn't take forever.
Yeah.
Because if the combat mechanically is a slog, then it doesn't matter how creative and funny your people are, it's going to be boring.
Yeah. Okay, so one of these doors.
Combat's also most interesting when it's unexpected and has narrative stakes besides just live or die. Yeah, you guys should. I really can't suggest enough to listen to the C Team. It's so good. You might have to listen to more Acquisitions Incorporated to really understand how cool C Team is, just because it's like it's very intentionally a spinoff.
Somebody give me hearts, please. Thank you.
But like, it's so good how high quality. Yeah, it's spelled just like that, the C Team. Acquisitions Incorporated, the C Team. Acquisitions Incorporated, the base series, is also incredibly good and fun, and I very highly suggest it.
I think this is just a room with a button, right?
Been playing a fighter, and I would love doing suboptimal stuff that's just fun. It is just fun, actually. I'm very guilty of that when I play fantasy tabletop games, when I play D&D. Tim is a very Tim is a male human fighter type of character, or like non-binary human fighter more often than not, actually. But I have a masculine voice, so people say boy anyway.
So, all right, I think we're getting somewhere here. I think we're doing something. Which room is this? Did I get this scrub? Pretty sure I got all the scrubs in here.
I can't emphasize enough, like, it's really, people, like, when I play fantasy games, the character I play is basically, like, Goblin Slayer, but slightly less autistic.
Goblin Slayer is so good.
I'm kind of guilty of that. Like, the characters I play are almost always just, like, Goblin Slayer, but very nice to everybody if they don't fuck with me first. That's one of my autistic traits. I cannot just be mean to someone unless they were mean to me first. Or I'm very tired and aggravated.
I mean, I'm also pretty much like that. I just don't have a reason to get mad most of the time. There were some times when I was working in the kitchen when I would get real fucking pissed, though. Literally all I had to do was come over here, Jesus Christ.
When I'm at work, I'm literally a different human being.
Yeah.
I don't know how, like, my brain is so compartmentalized that when I'm at the type of person I am when I'm at work is so different from who I am when I'm just hanging out that, like...
That's the case for me when I'm working, unless, like, I'm working with people who are cool, which usually doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Short Kings be like, once again. No matter how far we come, we end up here. Dude.
I baked cookies with my friend the other day, and I accidentally went Gordon Ramsay on their ass and didn't expect it. Dude, when we go Gordon Ramsay on people, nobody expects it. I'm like that when I'm at work sometimes. Something will happen, and I'll turn into a fucking monster out of nowhere, and I'll be like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry."
Okay,
I have no idea where that came from.
I don't know. I don't know if I believe this guide, if I'm being honest. So that's the Skulltula it's talking about over there in that little thing. And it's telling me...
The Gondard Castle is very cool, but the Dawnguard armor is actually really dumb now that I'm looking at it as, like, an adult.
Like, fuck, I need to turn the brightness up on this fucking monitor.
When I was a kid, I thought that the Dawnguard gear was, like, super cool, but looking at it here as an adult, I'm like, man, this is dumb.
This sucks.
Like,
Yeah,
man,
there's
this shit
no
is straight up cheap.
fucking way I can reach that with the boomerang.
Oh, Oh, Power Ranger type character. You can actually do it in D&D 5e really easily. Here, let me tell you guys.
Climb of a vine's on the left side.
Let me tell you guys an incredible secret to success to creating your own Power Ranger in D&D with this one simple trick. Play a barbarian. Play the animal totem barbarian. And then pick the totem of the bear, the one that gives you resistance to non-magical damage when you're raging. And then refluff your rage as you entering your Sentai suit. Bam. Instant Power Ranger.
I know this one is just a Triforce piece, so I'm just gonna fucking ignore it for now.
I expected Jacob to react to that, I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, it's a good idea. I'm thinking. My thinking brain is on. Ganon's
Or just
Castle,
pick
we
the
got
monk
that
class.
one.
No! Don't just pick the monk class. The transformation is an important part. The difference between a normal barbarian and then a barbarian who is raging is an important aspect of this. The fact that your rage gives you resistance to all non-magical damage and you do more damage yourself, like, it is the you're in the suit. You know what I mean? You could just pick a monk class, I guess. But I don't know. Refluffing the barbarian is just cooler, in my opinion.
Okay, we got Fire Temple guys. We got Night guys. Can I get to the ice cavern? I don't think so. We got that one. Now we're in the water temple. Which Lake Healy is this? Night, long shot.
Refluffing the barbarian seems pretty standard for a lot of things, it
one.
seems. Yeah, because the barbarian is a very versatile class in 5e. You can do a ton of different things with the barbarian in 5e. The Storm Soul Barbarian, I'm pretty sure, is meant to be literally just like a Saiyan.
Shadow Temple.
Like from Dragon Ball. The barbarian, it's also how you play a magical girl. Exactly, yes! Well, I mean, a magical girl and a Super Sentai, like Power Rangers type character, they're like the same thing, just one's coded for boys, the other's coded for girls. Right? It's like how Mecha is supposed to be like is a magical girl for boys.
I can't get to the Haunted Wasteland or the Desert Colossus yet.
Bridgerold. I don't know how I'm supposed
is
to pronounce that.
Bridgerald back?
Bridgerold, yeah. Saying
Hello, guys.
Jake, you know what? Jake and Madai are cute. Thank you. I'm literally riding my bike right now, so don't type too much or I'll crash. Why are you... You know what? Actually, that makes sense. Listening to a stream while you're riding your bike. I imagine a stream is like a...
Okay.
It's like podcasting.
So we have...
podcast while you work out.
We have... I'm pretty sure we have all the Skulltulas we're supposed to get right now. Which means that there's got to be something really fucking obvious that I'm missing.
Bridgerald, okay.
I swear to God, I should have gotten Saria's song by now. But I think I've checked, and I still haven't met whatever the requirement is to trigger her giving that to you. Can we do... We completed all 3 of the child dungeons 100%. So those are off the table. Fuck, man. I guess the move would be to start getting nighttime Skulltulas and see if we can just shake something loose. Even though that's technically a sequence break. Fuck. I can't remember any of these songs anymore, dude. My old man brain. There we go.
Or I go by Daddy, Dealer's Choice. Nice.
What the hell are these Triforce pieces? I have Triforce Hunt turned on. So I have to find however many amount of Triforce pieces to beat the game. What did I say I was doing? Oh, right, nighttime Skulltulas. Ooh, it's nighttime right now. What a fucking happy coincidence.
That just seems unnecessarily masochistic.
Okay, so let's do... I don't think there's any nighttime Skulltulas that way. There's a couple at there's at least one at Kakariko that I haven't gotten yet, because it's that one that falls out of the tree. Oh god, we have to wait. It's fine. I love not having the suns long, dude. It's great and totally okay. Check the back alley shop while we're in here.
Jacob plays Dark Souls. Unnecessary masochism is his thing.
Dude, Dark Souls is not hard. Shut up. Do you have your randomizer set so that you can't get soft lock? Yes. Man, people have no faith in the randomizer. I get that question so often. Like, can you get soft lock? Like, no, trust me. It's actually fucked up how not soft locked you can. How unsoft locked you are. 205. Yeah, this is all fucking garbage. You garbage. How long am I planning to stream? I don't know. What time is it right now?
Until Colin and Emily get here, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much. We got friends coming over tonight, so when they're on their way, I'll probably head out. But that's not gonna be for quite a while. Well, since I have to fucking be over here waiting for the day cycle, I might as well check and make sure there's no nighttime bugs. I'm pretty sure there's not, though. Shut up, Malin. Get a fucking job. Sitting out here singing all the time.
Dark Souls is a persistence check. Things are hard your first time through, but it's designed so you die and replay segment. The thing about Dark Souls, you're correct. The thing about Dark Souls that gets people is that people don't like dying. People think that, like, oh no, I'm dying a whole bunch. That means I'm bad and I'm like failing. Death is the fail state. And it's like, no, you're supposed to die. Dying is like normal in this
Oh,
game.
I see what you mean, Mr. Fan. Yeah, I've got all of like the speedrun tricks and skips turned off. That's why I'm not going into the fire temple or doing the water temple right now, because I could theoretically finish the entire water temple without the Zora's tunic pretty easily. If I don't get a good item with one of the Skulltulas that I'm planning on getting right now, I'm probably just going to brute force the water temple and do a sequence break, because I'm not really sure where else to go right now. Especially as Child Link. I think I've pretty much done a fucking full clear of Child Link stuff, except for the Spirit Temple. There might be a couple of nighttime Skulltula that I missed here as Child Link at Zora's River. Possibly. Maybe. There's that one that I need Den's Fire for. So if we get Den's Fire, that unlocks at least one item. No, I was just talking about how I don't have the tracker and I'm raw dogging it. Usually I'm alright at remembering stuff, because I just know where all of the grottos are for the most part anyway, and stuff.
Can't wait till I get to play Dark Souls or Elden Ring. I'm going to sink so many hours in them this summer. I mean, if you go into them with a positive attitude, like, I know it sounds like the most, like, cheesy thing to say, but if you go into them with a positive attitude and just accept that that failing and dying isn't inherently a bad thing, then you'll do great and you'll enjoy yourself.
Elden Ring also, like, I've noticed that on my second playthrough of Elden Ring, it just, like, seems like not nearly as hard as it seemed like on the first playthrough, just from, like, increased skill. Bow builds are actually pretty good in Dark Souls 1 up until Four Kings. Then when you get to Four Kings, it gets a little sketchy. I feel like this day is taking for fucking ever. I'm gonna wait and keep doing this until coins pop out of the tree like Super Mario 64. I haven't tried a bow in Elden Ring yet, but it looks like they're better than they've ever been.
Do you have like a tabletop RPG horror story or cool moment that's always stuck with you? I mean, I've never had... When you say horror story, do you mean like when something bad happened?
Yeah, that's what that means.
In a generic sense? Or, I don't know.
Everybody who does tabletop games has at least one fucking horror story, especially if you play like in hobby shops with like random people.
I mean, okay, not naming names, there was a guy I used to play with who, and I used to live with them as well, who would, like, very consistently represent their vor fetish in game. It sucked.
That's fucking awesome, dude.
They would we played a game of D&D that Owen GM'd, and the guy in question was playing like a druid who like shapeshifted, and they very consistently like to shapeshift into like a giant wolf, like a dire wolf, and they would like immediately like pin enemies because it's very easy to pin them when you're a big wolf, and then just like start eating them. And then I GM'd a game of Shadowrun, and this guy played like a kitsune character who would, anytime that the gang had to get violent and do violence and leave bodies behind, they would clean up the violence by using magic to shapeshift the bodies into mice, and then they would just eat them.
So, okay, here's the thing about vor, right? If somebody tells me they're into vor, but they want to be the person getting eaten, I'm like, okay, you're just like a weird sub. That's fine. But if you're into vor and you're the one doing the eating, that makes you a weird dom, and now I don't want to be around you anymore.
Which, dude, I just didn't like this person. They were very frustrating to play with. They were also one of those dudes who was like a hardcore power gamer, and it made playing with them a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
It was impossible to play a cool character who was just kind of suboptimal, because you'd be playing next to this guy who went out of his way to make his characters like mechanical gods, basically.
Yeah.
That were like basically unstoppable. And
he's doing like hardcore metagaming.
Yeah, just hardcore metagame. It was just so annoying all the time.
If I was a DM and I had somebody that was doing hardcore metagaming, I would just like stat up all the encounters and be like, okay, motherfucker.
Well, no, the thing is, though, if a GM does that, that punishes everyone else in that group.
Yeah, that's true.
Because, like,
unless they're all metagaming. Yeah.
Well, but that's why groups full of people who don't metagame, like our group was, hate the one guy who metagames.
Yeah.
Because he makes the rest of our lives hell if the GM actually responds to the temptation to just make the encounters harder. It was really unfortunate. One of the cool moments was I had a character actually have a really good moment of self-sacrifice, and I actually lost the character, and they saved my body in an effort to see if they could get me resurrected, but I was so generally happy with the way that my character's story had ended that I was like, no. His soul passes on. He decides to stay dead. I'll just roll up another guy. And it felt nice to have a character whose story had concluded in a way that I was like really happy with. And then I played a necromancer whose dad was like, whose like adopted father was a lich. And that was fun. The lich was like actually so old and ancient that he was like bored of being evil.
Wait, there's a... Oh, son of a bitch. Am I really gonna have to sit here and wait for this? It's fine. Everything's fine. I have to pee anyway. It doesn't matter.
I did really enjoy GMing a game of D&D with Amanda and Jacob one time, and actually I should wait for Jacob to get back from this because he was in this game. So I'll wait for him to come back from whatever he's doing, and then I'll tell you guys about that story. I blew a dragon's head off along with my own arm. I'm going to take a wild guess at how that happened. A dragon was starting to eat you, and you had like a grenade or like a bomb in your hand or something, and you were like, hasta la vista, baby. That's my guess. That was not it? Oh. Whoops. That's the first scenario that came to mind.
Oh, I always forget this is one of the side areas in the game that doesn't freeze time.
Okay, now that Jacob's back, I can tell the story.
Okay, wait, hang on. What's happening? What's going on in the chat here?
Yemix gang.
Oh, yeah, this is
I was GMing a game for Amanda and Jacob and one other person that we knew and hung out with at the time, and they went into like a goblin's den because they got like ambushed by the goblins, like backtrack them back to where they were. And what happened was Amanda was playing as a bard, like a really, really charismatic and like seductress type character. So what she did was with the first batch of goblins they ran into, they killed all of them except for one. And then Amanda convinced the goblin that if the goblin told them where all the other goblins were and helped them avoid the traps, they would make him the boss of the gang. You know, he could form his own gang, Yimik's gang. And that Yimik was the name I just made up off the top of my head. You know, Yimik's gang. And, like, they got really into Yimik's gang. And and it became a whole thing. It was very funny. If that game had continued, I was going to try and orchestrate things so that party got backed into a corner and it looked like they were about to get completely screwed and do a full party wipe. And then I was going to have Yimik and his gang show up and save the day.
Didn't all of the goblins get wiped out, though? In the final confrontation?
You guys let Yimik live. He was going to come back with a fresh new gang.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
Yeah, that was my plan, but that game never, continued.
It's time for my super secret jutsu where I skip a bunch of bullshit and just go straight to the lake at night.
But that was...
Let's check this shop one more time.
That was the story of Yimik and his gang. That was Amanda. Amanda actually really blew that out of the park because what I had done initially was I had created this really fucked up micro dungeon full of lots of traps and shit. And I was going to try and use it to cull the herd, if that makes any sense, to really punish these guys and convince them that they needed to take even small threats like goblins seriously. I was basically going to do the first session from Goblin Slayer where they underestimate the goblins and get all fucked up and destroyed, but then Amanda social role played the shit out of it and just completely overrode everything I had in mind, and it was so cool and so neat that I was like, oh yeah, we're doing this now.
Or wait, no, it would be hang on.
I was
Holy
actually super
shit.
proud of those guys. That was a really great session. I was really happy with the way that one turned out. And
okay, let me hold on a minute. I need to cut this off because I'm planning something important. We are leaving on the 11th for Pennsylvania, right?
On the 11th,
and we are getting back on the 17th.
We are we're coming back on the 17th.
Okay, so the Tuesday that I need to have covered for archery is the 17th.
Okay. We're leaving the 17th. We're probably going to be back on the 18th because on the 11th we're leaving really early in the morning, but on the 17th we're not leaving until mid-afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the way you guys handled the Emix gang was kind of one of my highlights of being a GM. You guys really knocked that one out of the park. Calthiel, subscribed with Prime. Thank you very much, Calthiel. We appreciate it.
Yes, okay, now I'm done with that fucking whole drama.
Oh, G-Saw posted their story, but I didn't read it. So he picked up a cursed magic hammer that improves any item, but curses it to try and kill the owner. I also had a gauntlet I attached bullets to, so they blew up when I punched it. I used the hammer on it. Oh, so you punch the inside of a dragon. That's cool. Definitely sounds like your GM had a bunch of really cool, wacky stuff going on. I really like the way old school D&D does things, where you'll be playing in a standard fantasy setting, and then every now and again you'll find just a laser gun or something, or a crashed spaceship,
just fucking Dwarf Fortress shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I love when stuff like that happens, when it just gets real wild and gonzo out of nowhere. That kind of stuff is super cool.
Give me your fucking trinkets, bruv.
Give me your fucking trinkets, bruv. If I could play Dwarf Fortress, I would. Dude, it'd be incredible. I feel like a lot of people would have an incredible time with Dwarf Fortress if they could just play it.
Yeah, I mean, I think anybody could probably sit down and learn it, but holy shit, that's an undertaking.
Yeah. They definitely don't make it easy for you.
The one on Steam that comes with like a tile set pre-installed so that you don't have to look at like demonic ASCII art, probably be the best one. Dude, is there really a day-night cycle in Lake Hylia too? Am I losing my mind? Am I going fucking senile in my old age? One of these pillars over here has a Skulltula at night too.
I don't think you guys really understand how incredibly fun Skyrim is if you have like a realism combat mod on that makes every single combat encounter really dangerous. Because in this game, you're outnumbered a lot. So if you're playing like a mod that if you're playing like a mod that makes it so that being outnumbered is like actually fucked up and crazy and like it's not something you want to deal with. Like, I don't know, dude. It's just really hard to describe how much fun it can be. Oh, dude, Spelljammer Infinite Soul is great. I'm so excited. 5e is releasing a Spelljammer book in August, and I don't care that much for 5e. Like, if I run a D&D game, I'm not going to be using 5e. I'm going to be using something else. But the fact that they're updating the Spelljammer book means that we're going to get a whole bunch of other shit that I can steal and convert to another system. And I'm very excited about it.
Okay, so I've checked everywhere at night besides Gerudo Valley. So after this Skulltula, we're gonna brute force the water temple. How many water temple keys do I have? 2?
Make modded Skyrim the Dark Souls of Skyrim. That's actually kind of unironically what I do. The combat, anytime I play Skyrim, the combat's actually really fun and engaging and I actually do die a lot and have to like redo fights because it's actually pretty punishing if you like get surrounded or outnumbered or something. It forces me to be really smart about like my magic usage and stuff. Modded, difficult, but like enemies also die really quickly, so if I'm really good with my like timed blocks and my shield bashes, I can like fuck up crowds too. It's genuinely very rewarding. You know what I mean? It's very rewarding to get it just right. The Wildcat mod is the one I'm using if you guys want to try it out. Wildcat combat is insanely fun in Skyrim.
Wildcat. All right. I remember I had an immersive combat mod at some point or another. Because I've done like one vanilla playthrough of Skyrim and one modded playthrough.
Would you post a Skyrim mod list in Jacob's server sometime? I could, yeah. I can just take a screenshot of my.
Okay,
I
we
can
got a
just
heart
take like
piece.
a screenshot of my mod list.
Okay, here's the question: can I make it to Gerudo Valley fast enough to get there during the night too?
I'll probably do that either sometime tonight or sometime tomorrow.
Because then I will have gotten all of the child nighttime Skulltulas, I think.
Keep in mind it will also change though, because like I'm at like 60 something mods right now, and the way I handle this game, modded Skyrim, is anytime I run into a problem that I like remember there being a mod for that, I'll just immediately go find it and install it.
Dude, I miss the golden age of Minecraft modding. Back in like, oh god, it was like 1.6 or 1.7, I think. Version had the most mods.
Dude, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance is not an RPG, Carrion, but it's an incredibly fun game, and you're gonna love the shit out of it. It's so good.
I know Minecraft modding is still great, but there's so many fucking good ones from the golden age that didn't get carried over. Like I like simple shit too. Like,
did Ether get carried over? Is Ether still a thing?
Probably. Like, god damn it, what is that one called? I think it's called Underground Biomes, where all it does is add like fucking just like 48 different kinds of stone blocks.
It just does the Skyrim. It just does the Minecraft caves update.
Yeah, but better.
Yeah. That is actually wild. Just how often modders will just like do with the games what the devs should have been doing from the start.
Also, there's a mod that I don't think ever got updated that puts in like a Diablo 2 style monster system where the monsters can have like modifiers and they actually get hard. And it's compatible with all of like the big creature mods, so you can add like fucking, what was the one, like more, I think there was one that was just called more creatures that added like fucking 75 enemies or something like that, and it's compatible with all of those, so you can just like get stupid.
Alright guys, we have gotten rid of our Blessing of the Warrior Stone and we've replaced it with the Lord Stone. Which means the game has officially become easy mode.
It is time to suffer in the Water Temple for a brief period of time.
We're going to level up slower, but the game is going to be insanely easier. Because the Lord Stone is kind of busted, and if I'm being real with you guys, I should probably replace the Lord Stone as soon as I can.
RL Craft does look sick. Is there a current version RL Craft? Because that would be...
RL Craft?
RL Craft is like a mod pack that does like a bunch of stuff to make the game a little bit more realistic and a little bit more difficult. If there was
the kind of thing I'd expect to get out of Minecraft, I wouldn't expect to see people making like difficulty mods.
Oh yeah, there's a whole community of people that want like really immersive, difficult Minecraft. I'm mostly just holding out for the Hytale release. That's what I'm looking forward to. Hytale is going to be incredible. If Hytale even does like... If Hytale even does like a quarter of the stuff they say they're going to do, it's going to put Minecraft in a fucking hole. Unless they do like a fucking Cube World level meltdown, I don't see a universe where Hytale doesn't like become the standard game. If they can deliver on like I said, literally even a quarter of their promises. The one thing that Minecraft has that Minecraft will always have is redstone, though. I don't think you're ever going to get the redstone freaks to switch to anything else. I mean, the redstone system is so simple, though. It's literally just like a system of on-off switches. Like, it's not like that wouldn't be difficult to replicate. It's just that Notch was the first guy to be like, what if we just made it so that like they could do programming? Yeah, the Cube World video is the first video that most people watched.
Inigo, why are you complaining about the dark? You're a Khajiit. Just turn on your fucking dark vision, dog. I know you have it. I modded it in. Sorry, I love Inigo. Inigo is by far the coolest, like... Inigo is by far the coolest mod that I have, but... You're a Khajiit, dude. You can see in the dark.
Okay.
Yeah, turn on your eyes, Inigo. Goddamn.
We can unlock this door.
Whoever asked me to actually post my whoever asked me to post my mod list, I'm actually gonna give you an early spoiler right now. Inigo is at like the top of that list. Inigo is so cool. For people who don't know, Inigo is a fully voice-acted companion with his own subplot and like story and background and everything.
Okay,
and
that's a heart piece, no big deal.
Is like very chatty, and he has like all the subsystems of like improved companion mods, and he's just so cool. Inigo is the best.
Can I even get across this without the long shot?
Is this a randomizer? Yes.
Yes.
Chicken wings and bologna. This is a randomizer.
Unless I just got a very rare bug where Skulltulas drop heart pieces sometimes, yes. Also stream title. Also ratio. Plus you're white.
Gotta go move a fridge. Times are wild, folks. Nice. Have fun moving your fridge.
Okay. I think this is Shadow Link, right? I'm gonna drop his ass with the big Goron sword. Oh no, this isn't Shadow Link. Unfortunate. Can I do this room without the long shot? I think so.
Jacob's gonna go kill Shadow Link. I am currently killing vampires. It's a good time.
Shadow Link is a good villain. I hope there's a Shadow Link in Breath of the Wild too.
Was there not a Shadow Link in Breath of the Wild 1?
No. Not that I remember anyway. Breath of the Wild 2 seems like it's going to be a lot darker in tone, so I'm hoping we get more of like the... I hope they bring back Pose. I hope we do some more Twilight of Dimension stuff. Shadow Link. I'm pretty sure the Twilight or whatever are going to be the main villains. It's going to be Zant again, based on the first trailer we got, where like a hand that looks like a Twilight hand oh fuck, I did it. Grabs somebody, or there's like a cloud or something that looks like it's like Twilight themed. Because like it's the same Link in the same Zelda from Breath of the Wild. It's a direct sequel, so we know that the villain's not going to be Ganon. Right. And it's been a while since we've gotten a good non-Ganon Zelda game.
That would be cool. I really hope they commit to having to letting you switch between Link and Zelda as player characters.
Yeah, I hope so.
Like do different things.
That entire rumor is based on the fact that they gave Zelda short hair, so it's not founded on a lot, but I hope it's true.
You know what? Even if they don't do it, and it's like an Ico thing where you're just like escorting her around.
Yeah.
I don't actually care. Her hair is so pretty. I love her hair.
I would like...
Breath of
no,
the
it's
Wild...
not. Majora's Mask is a direct sequel, and I think Spirit Tracks is a direct sequel. I could be wrong on Spirit Tracks, but Majora's Mask for sure is a direct sequel.
Breath of the Wild's Zelda's hair was the first thing that ever made me question my gender. I was like, oh, dude, let's go. It's not the first thing, but you guys know what I'm trying to say.
Oh, is Spirit Tracks completely different? I thought it was a Wind Waker sequel. Breath of the Wild 2 is the first time they've ever just done, like...
A number 2.
Yeah, but... Because Nintendo doesn't typically do that. They did it with Mario Galaxy. They'll probably do it with Mario Odyssey, too. I'm so glad I got the Big Goron Sword for this fight. So I can just shank this dipshit. Because he's really annoying if you have to fight him with the Master Sword.
It is genuinely one of the funniest things ever to be in a fight and just hit my Thum button and just Yol Torshul and just like everyone dies.
Oh, damn it.
It turns out having dragon fire breath thrown on you is probably going to just kill you. I just killed this vampire, and Inigo looks at the vampire's body and goes, "You are nothing but a
Well,
bad
Adult Link,
memory."
Count Carrion, Adult Link doesn't exist. Because Adult Link is in this game, oh, motherfucker, is a consequence of meddling with the timeline. When Link goes back to being a child, like, the Adult Link that was the hero of time is gone. I love how they force you to re-equip the shield also. Incredible.
Yes, Inigo, I know where I'm going. Thank you.
I like that Breath of the Wild also set up the precedent that the entire point of the game isn't just getting the Master Sword. There's like a whole fucking slew of other weapons you're using, and the Master Sword is only really good if you're fighting either Ganon or one of Ganon's like direct goons. Because that opens us up to have like different play styles and like all sorts of other shit. Like bringing the franchise into a little bit more of like RPG territory. Alright, I used both my keys. How many other chests can I get to in here? I used to have a hard time navigating the water temple, just like everybody else, but playing these randomizers kind of forces you to figure it out pretty fast.
The fact that there's a Ganon wins timeline kind of reminds me of that one Final Fantasy where where Kafka like breaks the world halfway through, and you have to backtrack through the now like destroyed world that Kafka like did.
Wait, which one is this? Is this the entrance? I just got done saying that I don't get confused here anymore.
I don't remember which
which
Final Fantasy that is. But I remember that there is a Final Fantasy where the villain is a... Is it 6? Okay, it's 6. Alright, I'll take your guys' word for it.
I'm pretty sure the Ganon wins timeline is the first game. I think I need to pull this out and then push it over later. Yeah. Well, let's get that out of the way, I guess. Alright, here's things. Here's where things get stupid.
Was FF6 also the one that opens up with you playing as the Magitech soldiers? I always thought that opening was fucking sick. Or was that 5? Yeah, it's 6. Okay. Yeah, it's the Kefka one. Okay, cool. I'm glad I remember that.
Can I even get out of here? Yeah. Aha. Oh, that's right. I gotta hookshot this. I was like, what is the point of having this over here? And then I remembered. I remembered immediately what the point is.
I'm about to wake up my vampire girlfriend. Are you ready?
Oh no, I've got to shoot it from over here. Vampire waifu, arise.
Did you play Dawn Guard?
Yeah, but I did the werewolf line.
Okay, no, the werewolf line is a default Skyrim, dude.
Oh, is it? Then no.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it. That was just a map. We're really getting fucked on our item drops in the water temple so far, boys. Okay, we can't do anything about that. I can't go into that door. Alright, so we're going down to the bottom, I think. Yep. And this is below the boss key room. Okay, this is a lock. Oh shit, I just remembered. I think I fucked up the chicken grabbing rewards on this playthrough. I need to go check that after the water temple. I'm pretty sure I forgot the 7th chicken and then just like got distracted and didn't go back. I think the top of this room is also locked. Oh, nope. God fucking damn it. This reminds me of that alien abduction case where that guy got grabbed by spiky balls. Nobody knows what I'm talking about, but trust me, it happened. It's in the UFO lore. It was investigated by the police in the UK. It's one of the only officially police-investigated UFO incidents. Alright, give me something good. Give me the Megaton Hammer. Fuck. You guys ever tried to actually hold your breath for a minute? Because let me tell you.
It's hard.
I used to be able to hold my breath for almost 2 minutes when I used to practice.
When I used to practice, he says.
Okay, that's a dead end. Yeah, no, that was the thing I used to do. Like at night, when I was going to bed, I just like practice seeing how long I could hold my breath for. Okay, well, we didn't get fuck all from the water temple. Slow day at the police station. No, it was because the guy reported it to the police, and he was like a well-known member of the community, and he reported it as like an attack. And I think it was, fuck, I don't remember what time it was, but he reported it as an attack, and he was clearly like, something had like tore up his clothes, and he was like all muddy and stuff. So it was like really obvious that something happened to him when he went to the police. So they did an investigation to see like if it was like a dude who attacked him or whatever. But they found like holes at the site where it looked like the little spiky balls were like rolling and like punching holes in the ground. And they found like very obviously where he was like knocked down and passed out. It's a really weird case. That's when you get into the weirdest shit with UFO stuff, is when you start looking at like experiencer stories. It gets fucking wacky, and it's significantly more difficult to explain than traditional UFO stuff.
Oh shit. Guys, I just had a forced fucking werewolf transformation. Or wait, werebear? Why am I a werebear?
Wait, you could be a werebear? Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, let's fix this chicken mistake that I'm almost positive I made. And then I think I have the adult chicken one toggled off because she just gave me the chicken. So I don't think we need to worry about that one.
Yeah, one of the mods that I have gives me a percentage chance to shift into a were beast. Like, I'm a were beast, but it gives me a percentage chance to be forced to shift.
Yeah.
If like depending on what the moon phase is.
Yeah. Ooh, I can also get. No, I can't get that. Yeah, never mind. I think I need a bean for that. Okay, so yeah, I'm pretty sure I fucked this chicken thing up. Incredible that I would make a mistake that fucking rookie. Because we got this chicken down here.
Oh, did my ass just get got?
We got this one. But I forgot to climb up this ladder and get this chicken.
What I'm confused about is why I turned into a werebear and not a werewolf.
Maybe you've got some different ones enabled.
Well, I just experimented a little bit, and we're gonna find out.
Doing chicken stuff.
Okay, yeah, no, I did. Okay, I'm a wolf now. I'm actually a wolf now, properly.
What are your options?
What do you mean?
Is it only werewolf and werebear, or is there like a couple? Or a
It's
few?
it's werewolf or werebear, because the default game gives you wolf.
Yeah.
The default game gives you wolf, and then the oh god, it was the Dragonborn DLC, the one where you go to Solstheim that introduces werebears.
Okay.
But it introduced them as just like a basic option now, where like you don't have much choice. Like you could be a werewolf or a werebear. What I did was I customized the visuals, which kind of werebear I was, if I shifted into a werebear, and for some reason that changed my preferred transformation to werebear instead of werewolf.
Oh.
Despite the fact that I got turned into a werewolf, not a werebear.
Dude, I'm really excited for the fucking Druid in Diablo 4. If that game survives the absolute just destruction that Blizzard is experiencing right now.
Got my doubts.
Of course. I mean, they've got enough money to, like, weather the storm. But Overwatch 2 completely failing is going to hit their bottom line hard. Like, that, plus the Activision lawsuit, plus the huge fucking controversy that happened with all that shit here a few months ago. Plus the Final Fantasy MMO overtaking World of Warcraft. Looking real bad for Blizzard. If Diablo 4 comes out, I seriously doubt it's going to be, like, the best product it could have been. Which means that Path of Exile is still the top of the pile, which has pros and cons.
That Diablo 4 trailer still to this day slaps insanely hard.
You mean Diablo 3 or 4?
No, the Diablo 4 Lilith trailer.
Right, yeah.
Dude, this is great. One of the mods I have installed lets you read the...
I haven't played Lost Ark yet.
You know the dragon walls where you, like, earn the words of shouts?
Yeah.
Well, they're written on...
Oh my god.
Like, the words are part of an overall, like, are part of a bigger wall full of, like, a bunch of dragon script.
Yeah.
And apparently, there's one of the mods I have installed translates them and lets you, like, hit a button and read them.
Yeah.
And I just got a word for drained stamina. The Thum, drained stamina, and the word in the wall here says, "Here lies the body of Sfolo, who possessed strength to kill a dragon, but not the stamina to kill many."
By the way, Colin and Emily are 35 minutes in. Or away, I should say.
Okay. But I just think that's very dope. Here lies Sfolo, who had the strength to kill a dragon, but not the stamina to kill many. Simultaneously telling people how much of a badass you are, but also going like, okay, he wasn't that hard, though.
Fuck. Okay, we did the chicken thing and got a shitty rupee. Not ideal. Maybe if we start...
The MMO landscape shifted quickly when people realized FF14 does seem to be doing very well for itself.
Maybe we can start the Big Goron Sword quest and get something other than, like, the Saw. That reward might be randomized. No, because that would, like, completely break the entire quest line. That doesn't make any sense. I don't think we can get into the Shadow Temple with fire arrows.
I have no idea where I am because I just left this dungeon through one of its alternate exits. But while I'm a werewolf, I can't open up my map.
So what if I try? I mean, I can guarantee you that Lost Ark probably is not up to the quality that Diablo 4 would have been if they would have gotten to do everything they wanted to do with it in like a perfect world where like the Blizzard controversy doesn't happen, just because of like the sheer amount of resources Blizzard has that other people don't. I'll have to check it out at some point though. The problem that Path of Exile has right now is that it's so fucking unbelievably convoluted. They need to streamline a lot of the old League mechanics into like something coherent, because the barrier to entry of, I mean, yes, of course it's an insane grind fest. It's a fucking isometric RPG. That's the whole point. The whole point is to grind. But
there's grinds and then there's grinds.
I completely forgot what I was doing already. Oh, I was gonna try to get a song drop. That's right. Like the barrier to entry to Path of Exile is fucking insane, and just it's incomprehensible. Like it's even I've been playing that game since it only had 2 acts when it was like open alpha, and like I can't even really keep up with it anymore. Like I have barely any idea what's going on, and I have so much fucking playtime in Path of Exile.
I have a question for you guys. Bike ride complete, did 13.5 miles. Hey, that very cool. Any of you guys here talking about RPGs? Have any of you played Elder Scrolls Online? Because ever since I got back into Skyrim, I've been curious on how ESO like plays and behaves. Because Jacob and I were talking about this a while back, and I was wondering, is it like... Does it play like a normal Elder Scrolls game, just, you know, with a lot of other people?
Fuck that up.
Or did they, like, overcomplicate it and try to do something different? Back in the day, I heard ESO sucked hard. I don't know how it is now. Dude, okay, to be fair, though, every fucking video game sucks hard when it comes out nowadays.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is that I don't need to pay any attention to Lost Ark, because any isometric RPG that doesn't have good unique items or good set bonuses, I just don't give a shit. Like, there's no excuse for not doing that anymore. Like, be creative.
Not Elden Ring, it ruled. Elden Ring is the exception to many rules.
Also, most games made by Japanese devs come out actually finished, unlike most games made by Western devs, so this is a ongoing pattern. I don't know what... I think I need the Kokori Emerald to get her to give me an item out here. I'm almost positive. I'll check again, though, since my back's into a wall here.
Oh, that's Inigo. Hey, buddy.
I haven't played Path of Exile in like a few leagues. God damn it. Okay. Oh! I can get into... Okay. I can get into Zora's Domain as an adult because I have the lullaby now. There's got to be something in there. I'm trying to remember if there's like a chest in there you can get as an adult or something. I don't think we can get past the king without blue fire, though. If we could get to the ice cavern, that would be fucking huge, because there's a shitload of chests in there, and I can finish it with the equipment that I have, but I'm almost positive we can't. Gerudo Training Grounds might have a chest in it that I missed, too. That would be one to double check. Path of Exile 2 is going to be so fucking insane. There still hasn't been any information on like how they're planning on doing that. Because if they're going... Like, my biggest question is, okay, is there going to be 2 passive trees? Because there being 2 passive trees is, like... That is incomprehensibly complicated. And you have to balance around having both of them. Because... if you allow the Path of Exile 1 characters to get into a shared endgame, that means people are going to be playing them. So you have to balance them, too. You can't just have, like... one skill tree objectively better than the other one. That defeats the entire purpose of what Chris Wilson is trying to do. Like, I'm not kidding when I say that the concept for Path of Exile 2 is the most ambitious thing I've ever seen a video game developer do. Like, holy shit.
Jacob.
Yeah.
We have a very important question in the chat.
Yeah. Am I a stork denier?
Yeah.
Are we talking about, like... It's just one of those memes where they take, like, the stork delivers babies and they post the Chad meme? Is that what we're talking about here?
Yeah, I think so.
No. I'm not a stork denier. Fuck it. It can be a stork. I don't care. Yeah, dude. 36 different fucking ascendancy classes with 2 different skill trees. Well, I guess, like, half of them would have one skill tree and half of them would have the other, but still... That shit is wacko.
Gosh, game, it would be super cool if I wasn't stuck as a werewolf right now.
I think the first character I'm going to do in Path of Exile 2 is going to be a shapeshift ranger.
Dog, not my white ass thinking this werewolf thing was going to be a one-side deal and I'd never have to deal with the inconvenience of being stuck here until the moon goes down.
Standard League is nuts, but Standard League is like... What is going on in Standard League is not the same as what's going to be going on in Path of Exile 2, provided they actually pull it off. Okay, so I can't get in there, obviously. Ooh, I have fire arrows. I might be able to get something for lighting these torches again. I don't think this rock circle does anything. I also need to double check and see if I can get into the Shadow Temple with fire arrows, because if I can, that is very obviously a thing that I need to do. I thought that you can't light those torches without dense flame, though. Man, that torch is burning for a long time. Yeah, and this guy should be... Oh, wait, he's moved out of the way! What? Okay, boys. We're in a whole new era now. The playthrough has reached a whole new heights. This might be the moment we've all been waiting for.
I doubt New Blizzard can make anything genuinely good. I mean, well, welcome to the club, my dog.
Yeah, Diablo 3 was a fucking nightmare.
I mean, I enjoyed it for what it was when I was in college, but I wasn't, like,
Well, they fixed a lot of shit that was wrong with it with the death expansion, and after that, it became like a passable game. But prior to that expansion, Diablo 3 was just the worst.
God, guys, this game is throwing so much shit at me right now. I got forced into being a werewolf. I have to last out the night as a werewolf. And now I can see a fucking dragon in the background.
Dude, you're on that Bloodborne shit right now.
Yeah, I am. The game is throwing a lot at me at this exact moment in time.
Alright, which one of these icebergs can I climb onto?
You cannot wait when enemies are nearby. What enemy do I have nearby? Oh, it's the dragon, isn't it?
Ooh. This seems like a hover boots type of meme. I think once we get to 50 Skulltulas, that is the limit for how many Skulltulas the randomizer can theoretically require of you, but I could be wrong. No, I fucked up. Wait. We're good. The hover boots are hacks, dude.
Y'all, nothing makes me feel more powerful than like lifting a whole mini fridge by yourself. I imagine that would do a trick.
Alright, it's time to get the jars out. And let our bugs go. Be free, bugs. Tim is playing modded Skyrim.
I'm having a hard time right now, dude.
God damn it.
Yeah,
Being able to break these fucking ice guys in one hit with a big Goron sword is very satisfying.
Referring to this game as Todd's masterpiece is incredibly funny to me because what makes it a masterpiece is that everyone else did the work for Todd.
My favorite fucking meme is when Brent Daniel calls Fallout 76 Todd's funny game.
Because, like, I'm playing modded Skyrim right now, and I like Skyrim. You know, I like Skyrim just fine. But part of Skyrim's charm is that it's one of the most heavily modded games in, like, the history of the world. And it's incredible how much of a different game it is.
Skulltula, steal yourself. Triforce Peace, let's go. The Triforce Piece thing is interesting because it'll delete... The Triforce Pieces and the Skulltulas will delete stuff out of, like, the junk item pool. And if you do, like, fully wacky randomized settings, you can only get it to like, I think 60 Triforce Pieces out of 100. I think 50 is a nice round number, though.
I'll be honest, I liked walking around Skyrim in the dead of South American summer to trick my brain into believing the heat wasn't real. Yeah, I mean, while Skyrim is an excellent game for just kind of vibing around, even default Skyrim, it's just that modded Skyrim is so much better in every way. Especially if you are like me and you got good enough at like managing your load orders that, like, when I was in college, I had literally like a couple hundred different mods. With zero problem.
Oh, fuck you. Goddamn ice bat nonsense. You need your last haw. I'm gonna no-scope this one. Fuck. I think the thing that made Skyrim the most modded game like all time was that since Bethesda keeps building every game on the exact same engine, by the time Skyrim came out, mod tools were really good and a bunch of people were really experienced at modding that engine specifically.
Yeah. I think that's a really, really good...
I've always wanted to play a Tale of Two Wastelands, that mod that puts Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas into the same game.
We have slain a dragon, boys.
I'm pretty sure... Fuck, I hear it. I think you get something for clearing this room. Oh, he's down below, okay. Is that a... Okay. 1 fire. 2 fire. Oh, there
Felt
it
that
is.
Skyrim was also just a really fucking good game for its time, or at least it made itself out to be. You know what? I stand by it. It's probably an unpopular opinion. I think Jacob and I might argue on this one, but I think especially for its time, Skyrim was actually just a very good game.
I mean, I've never disputed that Skyrim is a good game. I just don't think it's the fucking, like, unapproachable masterpiece that a lot of people seem to think that it is. Ooh, that could get us something good. That was a good key to get. Because people just talk about Skyrim like there will never be anything like it again. And I'm like, dude, Skyrim is like an easily replicatable game. There's nothing going on there. It's like wild.
I think I still stand by that one conversation you and I had where if we had a version of Skyrim that ran off of Dark Messiah of Might and Magic's like physics engine,
Yeah.
it would still be to this day untouchable.
No, yeah, Skyrim with basically Skyrim in the Dark Messiah engine would have been like the ultimate video game. If that even had like a like mildly complicated character progression to like really fucking lean into replayability, who baby.
Especially if it kept the level of modability.
Yeah.
Could you imagine modded Skyrim built on a Dark Messiah base? Ooh, boy.
Yeah, it would be pretty fucking wacky.
Well, I mean, guys, that's what you get for playing a video game on a console. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, fuck off. I just wasted a fire. I'm gonna go back and restock now.
Like, yeah, of course modded Skyrim bricks on a console, because consoles are garbage. You gotta play the game on PC.
Dude, we're about to experience a fucking resurgence in consoles, I think. Because PC parts are way too expensive, and consoles have finally gotten to the point where their hardware is, like, reasonable with the PS5. So if consoles can keep providing a cheaper product that is as powerful as, like, not the best PC, obviously, but, like, if as powerful as, like, a sort of like a regular consumer model gaming PC, I think consoles are finally going to have, like, caught up to the PC market. That's making a lot of assumptions, of course. That's assuming that the bottom of this whole fucking crypto bro thing doesn't fall out, which could absolutely happen. And God, I hope it does.
Hornbeetle points out Breath of the Wild became Skyrim in terms of popularity and popular media. So yeah, Jacob's right about it being like replicatable.
Yeah, that's a good example.
I would argue Elden Ring is becoming the Skyrim of like...
Elden Ring's a good one, too. Elden Ring has a little bit of, Elden Ring has a little bit more of a barrier to entry to it than Breath of the Wild does. Oh, man. Hang on. Okay, so this is the push puzzle. What's the other way?
Alright, I don't know who this Drayla guy is, but I murdered him last night while I was a werewolf, and I hope his soul forgives me. Also, kids these days grow up on Chromebooks that run Chrome OS, not Windows. So that's a whole new generation that'll have a harder time getting into PC gaming.
Yeah, that's probably true to some level.
I have no idea what you're talking about because there's an entire generation of PC gamers who are just building their own towers.
Yeah, what he's saying is that
affordable amount.
What he's saying is they don't have any experience on using something that runs Windows. It'd be like if me or you were like on a Mac right now, and you'd be like, "What the fuck?"
I guess, yeah. Absolutely, Elden Ring is taking heat from people who would never touch a FromSoft game. I don't think those voices are loud enough, though, to make a difference.
Also, I don't think there's actually that many of them. The only
yeah.
people that were mad about Elden Ring when it came out were like other game developers who like are cowards and suck and don't have the balls to take the risks that Elden Ring is taking. Like that guy, the infamous Ubisoft guy that was complaining about like how like user experience doesn't matter. And it's like, yeah, it doesn't. It was some made up bullshit by a marketing team that you fucking idiots convinced yourselves was like a required requisite or a required feature of a fucking good game. And no, it was all marketing and you're an idiot. Sorry.
And you guys have no one but yourselves to blame.
Yeah, sorry that you learned how to make menus good while everybody else was making fun games. Like what do you want from me? That's one type of person that just like opens themselves up to being ruthlessly roasted, and I don't have any sympathy for them, is people who like complain about shit like that on Twitter. It's like once you've like put your like opinion into the ether and expected people to see it and click a like button, I'm allowed to make fun of you. Like the gloves are off 100%.
I'm very much in Jacob's corner when it comes to that. Like, if I were ever going to take a screenshot and show someone's shitty opinion, I actually really hate the modern Twitter trend of, like, blocking out their profile picture and their @. Dude, if I ever feel a need to, like, post something that someone else posted, like, screenshot something, I'm not hiding a goddamn thing. I'm going to show you their name. If I have access, I'm going to show you their address. I don't give a shit. Like, fuck it. You want to say something stupid? Guess what, buddy? Everyone's going to see it. Not Ubisoft. One guy who works for Ubisoft.
Yeah, it was some random guy.
There were a few different... There was a very weird small rash of, like, Western developers when Elden Ring first came out that got real fucking upset about how good it is. And, like...
I think it was mostly the Ubisoft guy. Well, no, there was the Ubisoft guy, and I think there was a whichever company did Horizon Zero Dawn guy. And then there was a couple other industry guys, like, in their replies, I think is what it was. But that one tweet was really the only big one. But it, like, poisoned the water so much that, like, it just became the meme that, like... Western devs suck, which they do, for the record.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I think Colin and Emily might be here.
I do know a Hearthstone dev complained about menus. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I think they are here. Alright, I'm gonna have to end the stream here in a couple seconds.
Yeah, I just heard the door open and shut.
Ooh, baby, I can jump to that. Let's go. Wait, which one am I missing? Oh, shit. Can I go backwards here?
Baby, a triple.
I love that kid. That kid's one of my favorite, like, just internet people.
He gave us so much.
Just the balls on him to, like, blatantly fake that and, like, think that he was going to get away with it. So awesome.
It's so great. I love that kid.
Hello?
We're 10 minutes early, but we're downstairs.
Okay, okay, I heard you come in. 1 second. I'm streaming right now. I gotta end stream real fast.
Oh, shit. Okay, bye.
Alright, bye. That's the least threatening we're in your house phone call I've ever received. Okay. God, I hate this puzzle. Oh, God. Oh. If I can't figure this out, and then, okay, do I just go forward and then over? I think so. I think I can just go forward, right? Got him. God, I'm a genius, dude. What's even the point of putting a puzzle in a game if I'm playing it?
You know,
Yeah, a lot of
Hearthstone
people.
type
That's the thing that's funny about Elden Ring is a lot of people are complaining about like user experience and UI, and I was like, dude, first of all, I don't care. Second of all, neither does anybody else. Like, people don't care what the menu looks like. That's like a very specific, like, freak thing to care about, is like getting into the menus. Like, the general audience does not care about that kind of stuff.
The only time I care about menus, and I will actually get really mad about menus, is anytime, so like, back when my friends tried to actually get me to play and enjoy Apex Legends, I had a fucking impossible time enjoying it because the menus and like all the subsystems and shit and all the menus in Apex are so fucking bloated and psychotic that it was like impossible for me to like navigate the game in any reasonable way.
Dude, the worst, the only time that I can remember playing a game, like, not only in recent memory, but really ever, where the menu was so fucked up that I actually felt like it detracted from the experience, was Grand Theft Auto 5. Holy shit, dude. I don't know.
Grand Theft Auto 5 is
I don't know
fucking
what
arcade.
fucking, like, psychedelic drug Rockstar was on when they were trying to figure out how to make that. There's like 17 different menus. It's fucking insane. A good entry-level PC? That's not really how PCs work. That's like a really complicated question.
This puzzle's taking a while, my dog.
I know. All right, I'm done. I'm done with the stream. We'll do Ice Cave the next time I'm on here. The fact that we even got here is a huge breakthrough. There's like 17 more chests. Listen, youtube.com/probablyjacob, Patreon, $2 a month, exclusive podcast content. Hopefully we got a podcast
We should be recording tomorrow.
tomorrow. Yeah, that would be ideal. So I will see you later.
Bye, everybody.